You've heard it everywhere. Attention spans are dead. Gen Z can't focus. Your team zones out in meetings. So you keep presentations short. You cut to the chase. You strip out everything but the essentials. And yet, they're still not paying attention. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The problem isn't their attention span, it's your content. A few weeks ago, I ran a workshop in influencing. Complex topic, technical audience. Afterwards, someone came up and said, "Have you ever thought about being a comedian?" I hadn't cracked jokes, I hadn't dumbed anything down, but I'd made it interesting through stories. I'd shifted between talking, visuals, and interaction. I connected the material to things they actually cared about and were working on, and they stayed with me, deeply engaged for hours. In fact, the comment I get the most after workshops is from shocked professionals. You kept my attention the whole day. Because here's what most managers miss. People can focus. They just won't focus on things that don't matter to them. The research backs this up. Yes, Microsoft famously claimed attention spans have dropped to 8 seconds, but that's not the full story. Cambridge University psychologist Barbara Sahakian points out there are different types of attention. The 8 seconds, that's visual scanning. The quick gut instinct decisions we make when surfing for something interesting. But sustained attention, the kind you need for deep work, learning, or decision making, that hasn't disappeared. In fact, Gen Z spends 2.5 hours a day on social media and increasingly listens to long-form podcasts and audiobooks. The difference is motivation. When mothers of kids with ADHD say their children can't focus on homework but spend hours on video games, the issue isn't attention, it's engagement. And it's not just video games. Research shows young people can sustain attention for longer periods. A study of medical students attending lectures found something surprising. You'd expect students to remember information best in the first 15 minutes when they're fresh and alert, but that's not what happened. Information presented between 15 and 30 minutes into the lecture was remembered best. Material in the first 15 minutes had the worst retention. And another discovery, where students sat mattered. Front row recalled 80% of the material, back row 68%. Why? Motivation and proximity to the teacher's energy. What works? Enthusiasm, passion, varied delivery, shifting between listening, viewing, and doing. Content that connects emotionally, not just logically. So here's what to do in your next presentation, meeting, or training session. Number 1, start with emotion, not data. Connect the content to something your audience actually cares about. Not what you think is important, what matters to them. Step 2, vary your format. Don't just talk at people for 45 minutes. Shift between storytelling, visuals, questions, and interactive moments. Give their brain different types of attention to work with. Step 3, bring energy. Passion is contagious. If you're bored presenting it, they'll be bored receiving it. Your team's attention hasn't disappeared, it's just being invested elsewhere. Make your content worth their focus, and they'll give it to you.